Welcome everyone, Funny TCG here with another video for our favorite leader, Betty. In this video we will go into some ranked games in the Eastern format to see how the deck will perform in the future from EB02 going forward. Before we go into the deck list, let's have a quick reminder of what our favorite leader actually does. Activate main, discard one Revo type from your hand, give up to 3 Revo army or trigger type characters plus 3000 power for this turn. The list you can see right now was the list from the last video from OP10, which changed in quite some ways going into EB02. Namely, we cut Morley, we cut the Gold Roger, we cut the 2K counter Kuma, we cut the tension hormone, and we cut the stage. The deck changed in a way that I am able to apply even more early game pressure. So cards like the tension hormone that forces us to keep Dawn open, cards like Roger that are only played really late were left out, so we have the maximum amount of tempo, which you will see in my EB02 list now. There are quite some changes. The most significant one would be the addition of Charlotte Poiré, which is a 1-cost 2K body, has a plus 1000 counter in hand, but most importantly it has a trigger, so we can boost it with our leader effect to a 1-cost 5K body, which gives us a lot of tempo, applies a lot of pressure to draw cards out of the opponent's hand, and the trigger itself is not bad at all. We may trash one card, play Charlotte Poiré, and then draw another one. That basically allows us to cycle cards out of our hand, which are not really needed in the matchup. And therefore, we can optimize our hand, play in a certain way. I actually really like this card. The next addition would be the 3-cost Karasu blocker that helps us to fix our odd curve, because Betty basically likes to go second and right on the even curve. Sometimes that's not possible, and Karasu is another option to play on 3 or play really late on if we actually need another blocker. The last 2 cards added are 2 Sabos. The first one is from EB02, 4-cost 5K body, 2000 counter in hand. Activate main, rest this character. Run 1 Revo type, gets plus 1000 power during this turn, which helps us to enable certain effects from our characters. For one, Inazuma, Ivankov, Karasu, Lindbergh. All these cards can be enabled with the Sabo. Of course, for Inazuma you need another body on the field. And it helps us to avoid using the leader effect every single turn, because sometimes if you only have one body, you actually don't want to use the leader effect because you trash one card and only boost one body. Therefore, I actually like the Sabo, and a searchable 2K is great as well. The second card is another Sabo, which is a promo card that was released with the last premium collection in the Western format, which was about 10 to 12 days ago, I think. It's a 5-cost body with 5K power. It's also a 2K in hand, and it has the effect activate main, put the top or bottom life of your cards into your hand, and this character gains plus 1000 power in this turn. This is very good because we can cheat it out with the Ivankov and the other Ivankov, and it helps us to play against decks that want to starve us, so we can gain resources from our life, even gain some additional power. So I really like this card, and as many Betty players I was really hyped for this to get released in the West. So this is the deck list. Some ratios changed, but nothing too wild this time, and let's see how the deck performs in the ranked. Unfortunately, my mic wouldn't let me record my voice during the game, so I will comment on the games afterwards, so I can still share which I found were some interesting games. First one was against Yellow Kid. the opening hand looked actually really good. We had 2 Bellow Betty searchers, which would help us to hopefully find the 5-cost Ivankov, because the opponent made us go first, so we actually needed it. On the first search, we miss on the Ivankov, but find the second Ivankov. There would also be an argument for us to take the Koala, but taking the own life against Kid sometimes feels a bit odd. This is a good opportunity. We can attack first with 7, which he will probably take because it's a 5-life leader. Why shouldn't he? And we still have 1 Don left to have a second look, and this time we find the 5-cost Ivankov to help us fix our curve. Now we're good going. This time he did not use leader effect. I don't know if he misplayed or if it was on purpose, but nonetheless we highly profit from this mistake, as you will see in a few seconds. Of course, we will start by playing the 5-cost Ivankov to see what we find. We do find the Karasu, which, except for another 4-cost Ivankov, is the best card to find, because now we can hit him really hard without fearing for a block and a trash for the Hawkins. We go 5, he counters with 2k, we go another 5, I think he takes that one, and the next 5 he counters again. So we took 2 cards out of his hand, 1 life, very nice setup. Now he goes for the Gedatsu, removes a Karasu, which unfortunately is something we cannot avoid. Maybe that's the reason why he didn't use the Hawkins effect by making it a blocker. Turns it up his life now. It's a 6-cost Nico Robin, which on trigger lets her play a 3-cost. But we will still go hard into his face, playing the Ivankov, using the leader effect. I think we do not need 2 Karasus in this situation, so we trash 1 for leader, play the second one and go 6 and 9 into life. Now he is debating on whether he wants to block the first hit or the second one. It basically doesn't make a difference if he does not plan on countering this one. And going down 2 cards in hand could be very bad for him, so I would also suggest to just block this one, takes the next one, which he finally does, trashes an Ivankov, which we already have established on the board, so it's okay. 9k he takes. And now he does something that might have been a misplay in my opinion. He plays the Zeus, takes another card from his life pile to KO the Karasu. I think this was a bit greedy. I would have understood if he had the 7-cost Law in hand to play and heal himself for another life, but apparently he did not have it. He was doing the math. In this situation, I really want to protect my Ivankov for the maximum amount of pressure. He plays 1 blocker, plays a second blocker, where it's noteworthy that the Scratchman Apu is the conditional blocker. It only gains blocker if there is another yellow supernova on the field, which is with the King Beige, which you will see is quite important with the next top deck. And now he's doing his math again, going for 6. We counter again. Maybe it would have been smarter to let it go this time, but to be honest, I did not expect the following move, because he decides to attack with his Zeus. Therefore, I cannot defend the Ivankov, so I will not be able to use the leader effect efficiently. But we top deck the Kuma, which is very good in this situation because we can pop the beige, and because the supernova is gone, as you can see, the Apu loses his blocker as well. And now it's just hoping that he doesn't have it. We decide to swing all in, go for 5, go for 7, go for 7, and he either has it or not. But in general, in the end, Kid has a lot of big bodies in his list, which usually don't have any counters, so we are indeed good to go this time. He does have 1k counter, and therefore that's it. GG to my opponent. I think this was a nice game with the deuce misplay in my opinion, but let me know what you think about this. Next up we have not 1, not 2, but 3 games against Blue Purple Ruffy. In the Eastern format, it's arguably the strongest deck in the format, and we will see how Betty does against it. We have 2 1-costs in hand right now, but no Searcher, no Karasu, so it would be a bit of a gamble to see if we can the pressure on. Therefore, I think I decide to mulligan. We end up having no 1-cost, but we have 5-cost Ivankov, we have 4-cost Karasu, which makes up for it in a certain way. Swings for 6, we take this every time. Plays the Usohachi, which is an interesting choice. Maybe he thinks he could go for the Koala with the Usohachi, but that would mean we would attack with Koala, which we don't do. We just play the Karasu, swing 5 and face, take another card of his hand, or alive, and pass the turn, because next turn with the Ivankov we can go is exceptionally wide. We can start punching for face and actually going in much faster than if we would have lost the Koala right now. This time we counter, we don't want to risk anything because we have 2 2Ks which we most probably won't play this time. Now he's thinking one option for 5-tone would be Godfred, which is a very annoying card against the Betty because it removes the Karasu on the spot, ramps on the way, but he decides to keep his Don open. Maybe he doesn't have anything, maybe he doesn't want to play anything. We go for the 5-cost Ivankov, don't find another Karasu, or 4-cost Ivankov, which would be the best choice in the moment. We go for the lead effect, trash 1 Lindbergh, attack with Karasu. He takes 5 into lead. And 6 into lead. Counters that, goes down to 4 cards in hand. We do play the Race Max as a setup for next turn, because the combination of Race Max and Lindbergh lets us KO 6k, for example the 5-cost Nami blocker from OP11. So I think we are in a pretty good spot right now. He will for sure go for my board, finds Godfred this time and goes for the Lindbergh, which I think might have been a bit greedy because he goes for 7. Of course he wants to have the option to let Don open for the Gum Gum Giant, but now he sees that he has to go all in on the Karasu if he actually wants to remove it. Goes for the Koala instead, which we let go this time, so we can play another Karasu for the turn. That's what we should do first. We have 4 and 4, so we can go 8, 6, 8, 9, which might seem a little bit odd, but sometimes the effects of the Betty characters ask for a little bit strange sequence, so we get the maximum out of it, like this. Swing with the big body first, so we have the power reduction effect, and this is basically not winnable anymore, because he either goes down in hand, he goes down in life, or he goes down in Don, which are things he can not afford right now. We still keep the option of the race max. Maybe we want to go for the Usohachi as well, counters this with a counter event, but finally we decide, even if he has the option to attack with the Usohachi next turn, we are still wide enough to power through it, because he needs to go down on Don. That means no leader effect next turn, and in that case we cannot be punished hard enough that it actually hurts us. He will go for the Karasu and the Race Max probably. That means he can use all his 8 Don. Maybe go for the Kata blocker, the Katakuri from OP11, which is a really strong card. And one of the things that make me think about adding Roger again, because sometimes these games get a bit grindy, and the Roger might help to put the final last bit of pressure on. He goes for the 5 cost 9 this turn, leaves 1 Don open for the Giant. And now we can have a look. Starting with leader effect, of course, trashing a Lindbergh. We will go for 11, so the Giant itself will not be enough to protect him. And then we go all in. Even if he had it, we would attack with the Race Max into the Usohachi, leave him empty on board, and there would be nothing he could have done. GG's there. I think we did very well against the strongest deck in the format. So let's check the next one. After a game that was sabotaged by my mailman, we will go up against the next Snake Man Luffy. We keep this hand mainly because we have a 1 cost option and the 5 cost Ivankov for the 3rd turn. Just swing 8 into his face, he will take this one. Has a trigger, which I find very interesting, that he uses the Gravity Blade for my Race Max. Maybe he does not see the option to play it later on, because he already has very much big bodies. We find the 4 cost Ivankov of the 5 cost Ivankov, trash the Koala, I think, for leader effect, so we can go very, very wide. We play the new promo Sabo, which will come in handy later on, as you will see. And we already have 3 5k plus bodies, plus leader swing, so there definitely is a lot of pressure on this player already. Goes to swing for life, we will take it. We don't waste our Koala right now because we have the mole gun in hand. Goes for the Godthread and the 4 cost Ivankov, which probably is the right choice here. We go for the next 5 cost Ivankov 5 and find Karasu this time. We will trash the 4 cost Ivankov because the combination of Race Max, Koala and the mole gun can basically kill every single card in his deck. Now he miscalculates for the counter, has to take it, but that's how it goes. We also misplayed on this because we could have used the last Dawn as well. There is basically no counter re-entry run on the list, but slight mistakes happen. Didn't hurt us as well because he misplayed as well. Now we have the combination online for Race Max, Koala and the mole gun, plus a lot of swings, even if he heals right now. which would be the correct play to go maybe Sanji into Linlin. Let's see what he decides to do. With the Linlin he gets 1 life and maybe puts the Karasu back into our life. Now we are thinking, even without the Koala, we do have enough minus power effects to basically kill everything he could play. He goes for Sanji Linlin, which is a very, very strong play in the deck. Trashes another Sanji to heal and put my Karasu into life. And now you will see why I actually do like the Sabo. We go for the leader effect, use the Sabo effect, take the Karasu back to play him. Our character gets another plus 1000 and now he's in a very, very bad position. 9 basically means giant plus another card, then there are 2 other 9s and we still have 5 Don open. This is the situation you want to be with Betty, to have strong characters without even using your Don, because it's almost impossible for your opponent to defend this. Now he has to play the giant if he has it. Go down in hand. He apparently does not have it. 14 for game should be enough. Now maybe he pulled it from life, but even so it is not enough. We win a second time against Luffy, which is very good, and let's see what happens in the last game. The last game for today was against the same Snake Man Luffy. We mulliganed quickly, did not find the perfect hand, find the Betty turn 2, so we can now go for a search. We will probably find the Karasu here, swing for 7 and bring the aggro online. Maybe we find the 4-cost Ivankov from the 5-cost Ivankov next turn. He gives us that. We will trigger because he is a free life leader. We are already online with the Karasu effect. Place the Bondlay, which can be quite annoying. We decide to play the Ivankov. The cards we hope for are the 4-cost Ivankov or maybe a Kuma to pop the Mr. 2. We don't find it, and we also do not use the leader effect because the targets are not there yet. We don't get to apply much pressure. He goes for the Gravity Blade for 7 Don, which is a very, very strong card against the Bello Betty. And now we have to think on what we can actually do. I think the option is to play Karasu, go for Inazuma, and go very wide, very aggressive. We will trash the second blocker to keep the Kuma in hand if the Mr. 2 gets too annoying. And now we start hitting for face, taking cards off his hand. Gives us a 2k 4 or 5k swing, so basically telling us that he has not so much counter power left. Takes 2 hits, which has to hurt quite badly, but he gets up to 9 Don. Maybe going for the Linlan play now. We do not have the Sabo online right now, so we cannot get our Karasu back. But let's see what he decides to do. I think the optimal play would be to swing with the Mr. 2 first into the blocker. So he gets our first 2k, then swing with the Snake Man. So we either let it go or he gets the last counter card from our hand. And then maybe go for the Linlin. He swings the other way around. I don't think it makes much of a difference now. But we decide to protect the Karasu because we know if he wants to play the Lin, he cannot get rid of our blocker, because he needs all his Don as an investment, and therefore can only swing 5 due to the effect of Mr. 2. So we will be able to protect the blocker, which might come in handy. I think he is thinking about whether we have another 2k or not. Maybe checking if we searched for one, but we did not. So he has to just go for it. The safe play would be to go for the Betty Searcher, which will be of importance later on. But he decides to go for the blocker again. We still defend it with a 2k. And now he basically has to go for the Lin or else it's game. He goes for the Gravity Blade again. So we will have a look whether or not he has the giants he's showing us. With one big swing, leaving 2 Don open, so we could go 6-6 again. We tested. 2 giants still would not be enough. Would force him to go back to 5 Don. He trashes the Kaido. Goes actually back to 5 Don. Still giving us another card. This is very, very good. We will poke him for another time. See what he gives us. Gives us another 1k. And just to make sure, we go for the Bon Clay this time. Now he's at 5 Don, so he's not able to use the leader effect. He goes up to 7 Don. So no cutter blocker, no Lin. He goes for the Nami as a blocker, and in the next turn you will see why it actually came in very handy that we protected everything we had, and why it was a mistake for him not to go for the Bellow Betty. We will go leader effect, attach one to Betty. So the mole gun is online. We will pop the blocker, go 10 into life, so we have another 6k swing open from our leader, and let's see if he has it. As you can see, even if the opponent leaves the Don open, there is actually no way of playing around the giants. You just have to make sure to swing +4, so he does have to give another card additionally to the giant, and just go for it, because the giants will come sooner or later, and trust me, you want to get them out of their hand rather soon than late, because if they start protecting the Linlins, they cut us with the giant, it's almost impossible to win this. This time we managed to get the pressure on. We decided to protect our characters when it was necessary, and therefore I think we won this rather easily, although it doesn't actually look like it, but it was a pretty comfortable win. So GG's to my opponent, and that's it for the games. To wrap it up, let's go over the deck list once again. As you hopefully saw, the strategy of early pressure works pretty good against decks that rely on big bodies like Kid, like Snake Man. But if the games get too grindy, you could be in quite some trouble. Therefore, I found it quite good that we have more variety and more options for the 2k counters. Even just going up by 2 cards to 10 2k counters felt really comfortable. We can afford to defend characters, which was not really an option on the OP10. So I am actually really liking the 2 new Sabos. I love the Charlotte Poiré because it can be quite surprising for the opponent, especially if it triggers. But sometimes if it game gets really grindy, I am reconsidering adding the Roger back into the list, adding maybe a dragon to the list. But please let me know your opinion on the deck list. If you would change something, which card maybe surprised you. And feel free to share your opinion on my EB02 Betty deck list. See you next time.